Shalom, which means peace. Again, I'm priest and officer of 5,000 Abban here with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. I'm the camp leader of the isupk here in Canada. It has come to our attention that the Brith organization has sent letters to the Canadian Border Services, the city manager of Toronto, claiming that we are a hate group and that we are coming to potentially violate the Criminal Code of Canada. Of course, we did not do that. We don't do those things. But why? Why are they so upset at our arrival? Why have they called the Canadian Border Services several times to try and get us hemmed up at the border? Why are they in fear of our arrival? They are in fear because we are the prophets of God. And this is the prophecies. These are the blessings that the Most High would give us. These are those things coming to pass. Let me show you that here in the scriptures. But first, this class is sponsored by the like button. Smash the like button. This class is also sponsored by the share button. Let's smash that share button. Like and share. All right. Let me see here. Leviticus 26 and 8. There's a few of us at camp in Canada. I want you guys to listen to the scripture very closely. At camp in Canada, we've had 5 people. And an entire organization, the CEO of Brith Canada, the CEO made a comment about our potential arrival when there were 5 men for most of the camp that we had on July 25th or 26th or so, which is around when these articles came out, when these letters were sent. This is Leviticus chapter 26, verse 8. Remember the number 5. And 5 of you shall chase 100. And 5 of you shall chase 100. And 5 of you shall chase 100. And that's what happened. They were chased with the word of the Most High. This is talking about chase in a physical sense. This is talking about chase in a physical sense. But they were totally put to flight at the arrival of 5 men to stand and talk about the Torah, which they claim to love. To stand and talk against lifestyles that they also talk against in their synagogues and in private. But it put them to flight. That is the blessing that the Most High will give us if we keep His law, statutes, and commandments. And the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, teaches to adhere to that exact principle, to those exact principles. And 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight, and your enemy shall fall before you by the sword. That's what's going to happen eventually at the order of our King Christ Yahushua, who you, the so-called the Brith and Jewish community, well, not the Brith directly, but Jewish communities have called a monkey. All right? That's what's going to happen. The Lord is going to bring vengeance upon you for lying, for murdering, for stealing, and for running amok on this earth and pushing wickedness and pushing the lie, claiming that you're a Jew when you're not a Jew. I'm going to show you that. Okay, this isn't even like controversial anymore. It's 2022. These things can be found on a quick Google search. The Jews were never European, were never Caucasian. This is the 13th tribe from Arthur Koestler. 13th tribe from Arthur Koestler. We're going to go to page 15 of the book. Page 15 of the book. Let me see here. Blah, 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 blah. Bear with me 1 second. It is perhaps not surprising, this is page 14, it is perhaps not surprising, given these circumstances, that in 732, after a resounding Khazar victory over the Arabs, the future emperor Constantine V married a Khazar princess. In due time, their son became the emperor Leo IV, known as Leo the Khazar. Ironically, the last battle in the war, AD 737, ended in a Khazar defeat. But by that time, the impetus of the Muslim Holy War was spent. The caliphate was rocked by internal dissensions, and the Arab invaders retraced their steps across the Caucasus without having gained a permanent foothold in the north, whereas the Khazars became more powerful than they had previously been. A few years later, probably AD 740, the king, his court, and the military ruling class embraced the Jewish faith. A few years later, probably AD 740, the king, his court, and the military ruling class embraced the Jewish faith. And Judaism became the state religion of the Khazars. Judaism is also the state religion of Israel. It also just so happens that the Israelis, the Ashkenazi Jews, many of the Sephardic Jews, etc., Orthodox Jews, what have you, their lineage has been traced to no other place but the literal capital of Khazaria, as from an Oxford study on the root of modern-day Jews, the Jewish community. Many of their genes go back to Khazaria, the Caucasus, not to Caleb. Okay? This is the 13th tribe. So you're not the real Jew, and that's why you don't want us coming there, because B'nai Brith does not like any organization that claims that they are not the real Jews. But again, you have Falasha Jews, which are dark-skinned, and they don't get, again, they're not persecuted against when they come and travel to Canada. But we are. You know why? Because we are the real Jews. We are the hated. Okay, Africans are loved, but we are the hated, the West Indians, so-called blacks. I'm so-called American Negro on my father's side, from the tribe of Judah. I am a real Jew. Okay, I hold that title, not you, and I'm proud to hold that title. All right. So you're not the real Jew. You converted to Judaism, just like the Khazars. Go to page 224 to dispel another myth that any so-called Caucasians that adhere to that religion are Jews. All right, bear with me 1 second. All right. It's page 224. The Jews who inhabit it, regardless of their Shequered origins, it's an interesting word, I have to look that up. The Jews who inhabit it, regardless of their Shequered origins, possess the essential requirements of a nation, a country of their own, a common language, government, and army. The Jews of the diaspora have none of these requirements of nationhood. So the real Jews don't have nationhood, would not have a nation. All right, but let's read on to get more context into what this is saying. What sets them apart as a special category from the Gentiles amidst whom they live is their declared religion, whether they practice it or not. So as long as someone, Shlomo, whatever, says, oh, I'm Jewish, they're a Jew. And that is not the case according to the Bible. Let me show you how an Israelite or a Jew was declared according to the Bible. Was it according to his religion? Was it according to his complexion? Was it according to who his mother was? Was it according to his bar mitzvah? Was it according to the school or the yeshiva that he went to? Let's find out. We're going to the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18. We're going to dispel all the lies here. And they assembled all the congregation together in the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees after their families. So your pedigree is declared by your family amongst the nation of Israel, who the Jews are a member of. Okay? By the house of their fathers, by their mothers, matriarchal, matrilineal, mommy. By the house of their fathers, father. B'nai Brith, in a Jewish community, Ashkenazi, Sephardim, whatever. By your father. Your lineage is declared by your father, not by your damn religion. I don't care if a Negro has an unk on in V-Live stripping or doing lines of cocaine. If on their father's side is so-called black or native, they descend from one of the 12 tribes of Israel. They're one of the chosen people of God, the Most High. And that's just as simple as that. It is by your blood, not by your belief. Even in our organization, which only admits and accepts those that can prove their lineage back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob through the curses and the prophecy and the history and archaeology we've unearthed here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We take those people in, whatever, short, fat, tall, light skin, dark skin, straight hair, curly hair, kinky hair, red hair, blonde hair, black hair, skater, from the streets, lawyer, doctor, strip club, former, Christian, whatever. Take them in. Not by their religion. They sure as hell didn't practice it before. They didn't practice their belief system. But we take them in based on their bloodline. It's based on your bloodline, B'nai Brith. So that's another lie. Another thing that they claim, which is not true. But you're not the Jews. converted to Judaism, all right? You converted to Judaism in Christ, who you call a monkey, who some of your colleagues have called a monkey. He has something to say about this as well. Let's get his words. All right, we're going to the book of Revelation. Book of Revelation chapter 2 and 9. And it reads, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty. He knows our works in tribulation and poverty. Okay, Christ was a Jew. This can't be refuted. He's from the tribe of Judah, as in Hebrews 7 and 14. Our Lord sprang from Judah. Okay, that can't be refuted. That can't be come up against, so you can understand. That's who he is. That's who he came from. He knows our works. He knows the works we've done. The so-called black man has built America. The so-called First Nations built Canada off their blood, sweat, and tears. West Indians built Canada and make Toronto what it is. Okay? So-called Haitians make Montreal what it is. He knows our works. He knows our tribulation. He knows what we go through. He knows about multi-million-dollar Jewish organizations that send letters to try and stop us from coming into a country like it's goddamn North Korea. He knows our tribulation. And poverty. He knows our poverty. We're poor. We didn't have any money. I had nothing when I came up there the first time. When you B'nai Brith, you true haters, you white supremacists from B'nai Brith, called the border to tell them to stop us. And you've got connects up there. You got millions of dollars. I had nothing. I was a broke college student. We had nothing. And we got through and got the job done. And now we have many brothers and sisters that have put down drugs, that have left the strip club, that have left prostitution, that have left stealing and lying, and the evil of this world. Yahushua knows that. Christ sees that. The one you call a monkey, he sees that. But thou art rich, right? We're rich. We have the inheritance of the Most High. You don't have that inheritance. You've got the inheritance of Tel Aviv. That's what you've got, okay? We've got the inheritance of time immemorial, forever. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not. All right, that's a disgusting, disgusting evil lie that you say you're the Jews. And any Christian organization that upholds them as the Jews, they're not the Jews. They're not the chosen people of God. The scriptures say that when the chosen people of God get in their land, there'll be peace in the land. There's no peace. You fight in every Arab behind every rock and every crevice. Okay, you Americans, your brothers, have to go and bomb Afghanistan to keep them weak so they can't all come together and destroy that little sliver of the Mediterranean that you call Israel. Okay, the state of Israel, okay, Israelites' land is what you call today the Middle East. All the stands, all of that is ours. Okay? But are the synagogue of Satan. Right? You're the synagogue of Satan. There's no other way to explain that. You're a congregation of satanic individuals who try and bar those who claim they are Jews from coming into the country to help the people that you would walk over. Black people probably ask you for change all the time. You turn your nose up at it. You laugh at it. So-called black West Indian women are destroyed. Probably act up in the damn shop, in the store, in the Canadian Tire, in Tim Hortons. Where's my drink? She destroyed from oppression and abuse, what have you. You probably laugh and snicker. You wouldn't do anything for these people, but when we come and do it, you all gung ho. Then you get up. Then it's time to get up and act. Right? First Nation Highland Meth, you laugh at them and mock them in Western Canada. We come and do something about it. You, oh my God, they can't come here. They're a hype group. Tassels flailing in the air. But you're not going to stop this. Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience. We've kept the word of Christ's patience. This takes patience, man. This takes patience. Driving 8 hours to Canada, getting hemmed up at the border, being accused of being a terrorist group, while you've got the Ku Klux Klan and whole organizations that are dedicated to raping and murdering so-called First Nation women. Dedicated to it. Whole serial killer networks they've got up there in Canada. Killing so-called sex workers, Native American prostitutes, and feeding them to pigs. But as soon as we come up here, now it's time to do something. This is the word of patience. I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon the world to try them to dwell upon the earth. Let me read verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, and you're of the synagogue of Satan. We prove that. You're just as repressive and oppressive as North Korea, as Iran. You don't represent the free world, B'nai Brith. You don't represent the free world. You represent oppression. You represent cruelty in trying to stop the poor, the broken, the imprisoned, the institutionalized. the ill from receiving the medicine that they need, from receiving the counseling that they need to change their life. You're the synagogue of Satan. That's satanic. What the hell is this, North Korea? It's just Canada. You let everybody in. But you have a problem with us. Go figure. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Yeah, you're right. You do lie. You're a goddamn liar. You're a liar. Deny Brith. You're not the real Jews. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet. And Christ is going to make you come and worship at our feet. You're going to bow down. Not just you, but the Africans, Chinese, anyone that had a hand in our destruction and trying to stop the prophets of God from coming up here. There's a price to pay. We're not going to do anything to you. Don't worry about that. You made these silly articles about us being a terrorist organization. You don't have to worry about us harming nobody. But nobody had ever even use 1% of their brain power, of their processing power to even contemplate harming us. Don't do it. Okay? It's better that you don't do it. Okay, but you're not the real Jews, and that's why they're upset. And I'm going to show you guys here in the scriptures. Thank you to all the viewers. Smash the like button and the share button. Jeremiah 14:2, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. Right, Jew is short for Judah, like Steve short for Stephen. Tim is short for Timothy. Right, Jeremy's, well, not shortened. Will is short for William. Jew is short for Judah. Judah mourneth. If you're not mourning, you've got the best cybersecurity infrastructure on earth. You've got a nuclear powered military. You've got the 8th best military in the world, top 10 military in the world. You receive $30 billion in aid and welfare every year. You're a welfare state. You're all on food stamps. Section 8. Okay? Public housing, so you can understand. Many of you are. The real Jews will be in mourning. They're in mourning, man. We are in mourning. The amount of murder going on in the States is ridiculous, man. It's insane, the amount of murder that's going on in the States. And you try and stop us from coming into Canada because you're not the real Jew. You're not in mourning. You can call the damn Border Services Agency and try and stop someone from coming into the country. You're not in mourning. And the gates thereof languish, right? Our gates languish. Wycliffe John, Pressa, BFR, Drake, none of these groups, entities, or individuals came and stepped forward to say, hey, no, these people shouldn't be oppressed against. We're God's chosen people. No one else stepped up because the gates languish. The people that you look up to as leaders, that you follow on social media, what have you, they languish. They're weak. They are black unto the ground. The Jews are black unto the ground. It doesn't say they wear black. It says they are black unto the ground. Different shades of brown. We're colored so you can understand. All right? The Jews are. And the cry of Jerusalem has gone up, and our cry has gone up, not for 4 years between 1940 and 1939 and 1945, not for 6 years. Our cry has been going up since 1490 deuce, okay, from so-called Native Americans, our brothers. Blacks, Latinos, and natives are the children of Israel, are the real Jews. You're not the real Jew, and that's why they're upset, and they called the damn border to try and stop us, but it failed. You know why it failed? I'm going to show you why it failed. Okay, it failed because it's of the Most High. We issue the same PSA, public service announcement, to deny Brith. You're not going to stop this, and it will behoove you to not try, okay? Because the entity we work for is extremely powerful. Not the God of Judaism, the God of chutzpah. We serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, okay? And he will come to defend us. This is Acts chapter 5, verse 38. See? Many thousands of years ago, so-called blacks or the Jews, the real Jews, tried the same thing against the apostles of Christ, the students that were under Yahushua's tutelage or Christ's tutelage. Let's listen to what they had to say. And you should say the same thing, and you probably are right now. Acts chapter 5, verse 38, and now I say unto you, refrain from these men. You need to leave us alone. Just leave us alone. Just stop. You're not going to stop. You had people out there, doing some heinous stuff to us at that damn camp. Didn't work. Stop. Refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. Leave us alone. This guy was smart. Believe this is Gamaliel. This is Gamaliel. He was a doctor of the law. He stood up and said, listen, you need to leave him alone. If this is of men, it'll come to naught. It's going to disappear like the NFAC. Remember the NFAC was gung-ho? They run around shooting each other in the foot, walking around with AR-15s. They're gone now. Nation of Islam, gone. Gone. Nobody knows who the hell Farrakhan is anyone that's of my age. Moors, toast, 5 of them in New York, wearing those college graduation hats. They're gone. And if this is of men, it'll be gone too. We won't exist anymore. So leave us alone. But if it be of God, this is verse 39 of B'nai Brith, take notes. But if it be of God, ye cannot overthrow it. You're not going to overthrow this. And it's clearly from the Most High. I don't have the money B'nai Brith or the network that B'nai Brith has to call the damn border services, try and get us shut down. To try and get us shut down. All right? To try to get us shut down. You do, and you failed. Why? Because this is of the Most High. This is Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. You have a perpetual hatred for us, for the so-called blacks, for the West Indians, for the First Nations, and anyone that tries to come and help them, you try to stop. This is the truth. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. Right, your cousins, the Brits, shed our blood in the West Indian Islands. Your cousins, your comrades, you Sephardic Jews, your cousins, the Spaniards, shed our blood with the force of the sword. All right? And let me tell you another thing as well. The Sephardic Jews at one time were blacks, okay, in Spain. That's who you were chasing around Spain and hanging from trees and cutting and ripping to shreds. The Ku Klux Klan has the exact same outfit that the Catholic Church wore during the time of the Spanish Inquisition. Why is that? Because they are persecuting the exact same people, the real Jews. The real Jews. The garb that the Catholics wore during the time of the Inquisition is the uniform, the literal uniform of the Ku Klux Klan. Why? Because you and your cousins have a perpetual hatred for us, the real Jews. Okay? By the force of the sword, the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end. All right, this is the time our iniquity had an end. These times we're in now, 1800s, 1700s. Our iniquity is at an end. You suffered the curse of Deuteronomy 28th chapter, the 68th verse, and all the curses. But now you're hearing men such as myself stand up and teach the truth. All right? West Philly for life, you're on point. Zechariah 9:6, and a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. Where's Ashdod today? Ashdod is a literal town, literal city in Israel. I believe it's near Tel Aviv. People that live there, the Lord said in the Old Testament, book you read out of Torah, that they are bastards, meaning they're not the real sons of Israel. And I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. He's going to destroy the people of that area. Okay, the Palestinians, the Arabs. Because none of it's neither of your land. It's not the Palestinians or the so-called Jew. You'll be set in your own land, but you're not the real Jew. That's a fact. Get over it. Stop crying. Stop harassing border services and having them waste their time trying to stop us, because we're not a criminal organization. You're not going to find any weed on my person, any fentanyl, any dope, any guns, anything like that. That's the real reason. They're a white supremacist group, and they're against the so-called blacks, Latinos, and natives, because Esau, so-called Caucasians, have always been against us. Shalom.